What happens when a small, landlocked nation in West Africa stands up against global powers and asserts its sovereignty? How does a young leader facing a near collapse of national security and political stability bring his country back from the brink? Welcome to today's deep dive into the inspiring story of Burkina Faso under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré. We'll unravel the details of his strategy, the alliances he's forged, and how his actions are not just transforming his nation, but also sending shockwaves across the region and beyond. Before we dive into this intriguing story, here's a question for you. Do you believe that Burkina Faso's bold stance against insurgencies and foreign interference could become a blueprint for other African countries? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective as we navigate this complex narrative of resilience, sovereignty, and strategic transformation. Burkina Faso's path to stability has been anything but straightforward. For years, the nation struggled with an insurgency crisis that left entire regions under the control of extremist groups. The collapse of Libya in 2011 and the spillover of conflicts from neighboring Mali further destabilized the region, creating a breeding ground for extremist factions like Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb and ISIS. These groups took advantage of the socio-economic vulnerabilities in Burkina Faso: poverty, unemployment, and a sense of political disenfranchisement. They exploited local grievances and began recruiting disillusioned youth who felt abandoned by the state. Soon, large swathes of the northern and eastern territories fell into the hands of insurgents who imposed their own harsh rules. Entire towns were taken over, and local governments crumbled under the pressure. The situation reached a boiling point in 2022. Insurgent attacks escalated, and the government of Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba seemed unable to contain the crisis. The tragic ambush on a military convoy traveling from the capital Ouagadougou to Djibo on September 26, 2022, laid bare the extent of the insurgency's reach and the government's lack of preparedness. The attack claimed 37 lives, left 70 people missing, and sent shockwaves across the nation. Public outrage exploded. Citizens took to the streets, demanding immediate and decisive action. They felt betrayed and abandoned by a government that seemed more interested in maintaining its own power than protecting its people. Within this climate of despair and discontent, a new leader emerged: Captain Ibrahim Traoré. On September 30th, 2022, Traoré, a young military officer in his 30s, led a coup that would change the course of Burkina Faso's history. Unlike previous coups in the country's history, this one had a different flavor. It wasn't driven by personal gain or external pressure. It was born out of a genuine desire to restore peace and security to a nation teetering on the brink of collapse. Traoré's message was clear from day one. His priority was the security and well-being of the Burkinabe people. He vowed to restore stability, strengthen national unity, and assert Burkina Faso's sovereignty on the global stage. His rise to power was met with widespread support, not just because of his decisive actions, but also due to his clear vision and willingness to confront the challenges head-on. Traoré's first major move as leader was to address the deep-rooted issues within Burkina Faso's military. Years of neglect and underfunding had left the armed forces ill-prepared to confront modern threats. Outdated equipment, inadequate training, and poor coordination between different branches of the military had created a force that, despite its bravery, lacked the means to effectively counter the insurgent threat. Understanding that the country's survival depended on a capable and well-equipped military, Traoré fast-tracked the purchase of modern weaponry. He secured shipments of advanced weapons and logistical support from new international partners. With the assistance of Turkey, Burkina Faso received cutting-edge drones like the Bayraktar TB2, which gave the military a significant edge on the battlefield. These drones transformed the way Burkina Faso conducted warfare, enabling the military to monitor insurgent movements, gather intelligence, and conduct targeted strikes with unprecedented precision. But Traoré didn't stop there. He introduced new training programs focused on urban warfare, guerrilla tactics, and counterinsurgency operations. His administration invested heavily in communication systems, ensuring that all branches of the military could coordinate their efforts effectively. This rapid transformation turned the tide in favor of the Burkina Faso military, leading to a series of victories against insurgent groups that had once seemed unstoppable. While military strength is crucial, Traoré understood that winning the war against insurgency required more than just battlefield victories. He knew it was equally important to win the trust and support of the Burkina Faso people. Unlike his predecessors, who remained distant from the public, Traoré made it a point to be accessible and transparent. He regularly addressed the nation, openly discussing the challenges at hand and sharing his vision for a safer, stronger Burkina Faso. This approach struck a chord with the people. His candidness and willingness to engage with communities set him apart as a leader who was truly invested in the country's future. Traoré also launched several development initiatives to address the root causes of extremism. Infrastructure projects were rolled out to rebuild regions devastated by conflict. Schools and health facilities were established to provide essential services, and youth employment programs were launched to give young people a sense of purpose and hope. One of the most striking examples of Traoré's leadership was his handling of the crisis in Djibo. The town had been under a terrorist blockade for months, with thousands of people cut off from food and medical supplies. Instead of launching a purely military operation to break the blockade, Traoré's government planned a combined military humanitarian mission. The operation not only delivered much-needed supplies to the people of Djibo, but also restored a sense of hope and resilience among the citizens. While strengthening the military and uniting the people were crucial steps, Traoré recognized the need for international support to sustain his vision. Traditional allies like France and the United States were hesitant to provide direct military assistance, constrained by bureaucracy and concerns over Burkina Faso's internal politics. Realizing that time was of the essence, Traoré turned to less conventional partners, most notably China and Turkey. China's involvement marked a turning point. Unlike Western nations that often tied their aid to stringent conditions, China offered a straightforward partnership focused on addressing Burkina Faso's immediate needs. This strategic alliance provided the Burkinabe military with modern weapons and surveillance technology, enabling them to confront insurgent groups on equal footing. But it wasn't just about the military hardware. China's support also had a powerful psychological effect. For the first time in years, the soldiers felt equipped and confident to take on the enemy head-on. Turkey's role in Burkina Faso's transformation shouldn't be underestimated either. With the introduction of Turkish-made drones and other advanced technologies, Burkina Faso's military operations became more sophisticated and effective. The use of drones for surveillance and precision strikes allowed the military to carry out missions that were previously unimaginable, shifting the balance of power in the region. Traoré's administration didn't just fight insurgents on the battlefield, they also waged a psychological war, realizing that the insurgency was as much a battle of narratives as it was a physical conflict. The government launched media campaigns aimed at undermining extremist propaganda. These campaigns highlighted the government's successes, exposed the brutality of the insurgents, and promoted a vision of a strong, united Burkina Faso. The government also made efforts to reach out to communities in conflict zones, emphasizing that they were not forgotten and that their well-being was a top priority. This engagement helped shift the public perception of the government and reduce the appeal of extremist ideologies. The ultimate challenge for Traoré's administration is not just to win the war, but to secure long-term peace and stability. This involves reintegrating former fighters who are ready to abandon violence, investing in infrastructure to rebuild conflict-affected areas, and strengthening regional security cooperation. Traoré's government has established special reintegration programs that provide education, vocational training, and support for ex-combatants to re-enter society. By offering these individuals a second chance, the administration is not only reducing the number of potential recruits for insurgent groups, but also addressing some of the underlying issues that fuel extremism. Additionally, the government has rolled out ambitious plans to rebuild roads, schools, and healthcare facilities in liberated regions. These projects are not just about physical reconstruction, they're about restoring hope and demonstrating that the state is capable of providing security and services. On the regional front, Traoré's administration has been working closely with neighboring countries like Mali and Niger to enhance border security and disrupt the flow of weapons and insurgents. This cooperation includes joint military operations, intelligence sharing, and dismantling smuggling networks that have long fueled the conflict in the Sahel. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership has not only turned the tide in Burkina Faso's fight against insurgency, but has also redefined what it means to be an African leader in the face of adversity. His strategic military reforms focus on national unity, and bold international partnerships have positioned Burkina Faso as a nation capable of standing up to powerful external influences and internal threats alike. But Traoré's story is far from over. With growing international support, an empowered military, and a united people, the future of Burkina Faso looks brighter than ever. The question now is, will other nations in Africa follow Burkina Faso's example and chart their own paths towards security and sovereignty? Share your thoughts below. If you found this deep dive insightful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and join our community. By supporting us, you're not just staying informed, you're becoming part of a movement that seeks to showcase the rich history, resilience, and potential of African nations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.